What if I told you these three ultra-rare wheat pennies worth over $170,000 hidden treasure in your pocket right now? In your pocket, your drawer, or even inside that forgotten jar of coins, there could be a hidden treasure silently waiting to change your life forever. Not a fantasy, not a story, but real coins, real history, and real value that collectors in the United States are desperately hunting for every single day. And today, I'm about to reveal three ultra-rare wheat pennies that look completely ordinary, dull, worn, even damaged. But behind that rough surface hides a shocking truth that most people never realize until it's too late. One of these coins, yes, just one, could already be in your possession. And people are accidentally spending it, losing it, or ignoring it every single day. Imagine holding something that carries over a century of history, something that has survived wars, economic crashes, and time itself. And today, it's worth a fortune that keeps rising every single year. Stay with me, because the first coin I'm about to reveal is so dangerously overlooked, it might already be slipping through your hands without you even noticing. There is something deeply mysterious about the 1920 wheat penny, especially the one without a mint mark. At first glance, it looks ordinary, even unattractive, with its grey-black surface, aged tone, and worn edges. But that exact appearance, that quiet, almost forgotten look, is what makes this coin so dangerously valuable. This is not just a coin. This is a hidden treasure disguised as something people throw away without thinking. The design of this coin tells a story that most people ignore. On the front, you see Abraham Lincoln's profile, strong and timeless, representing stability during one of the most transformative eras in American history. On the back, those iconic wheat stalks stand tall, symbolizing growth, resilience, and the backbone of a nation built on hard work. But what makes this specific coin special is the absence of a mint mark. That missing detail is not a mistake. It is a silent signal that this coin was produced in Philadelphia during a time when production quality and circulation demands created subtle variations that collectors now chase obsessively. This coin was minted in a period when the world was recovering from World War I. The economy was shifting, industries were growing, and coins like this were heavily circulated. That's why finding one today in very fine condition, especially with that grey-black toning, is like uncovering a survivor of history. That natural aging, those darker shades, and even the slight wear, they are not flaws. They are proof of authenticity, proof of time, and proof of rarity. The composition of this coin is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that unique weight of 3.11 grams and a diameter of 19 millimeters. Its thickness is around 1.52 millimeters, but what makes it stand out is how the metal reacts over time. That grey-black tone you see is not damage. It's a chemical evolution that only happens to coins that have lived through decades. And collectors in the US are now paying extreme attention to this exact look. Now let's talk about rarity, because this is where things become intense. Most 1920 pennies were heavily used, scratched, or melted down. Finding one in very fine condition is already rare. But finding one without a mint mark, with that specific aged tone and preserved details, that is where collector demand explodes. This is not a common find. This is the kind of coin that serious collectors compete for, quietly, aggressively, and with increasing urgency. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The current market value of this exact coin, in very fine condition, is $110.03. Yes, this is the real current price, and it is absolutely rising day by day. This is not fiction. This is a real market trend. And if you hold this coin, you are literally holding a powerful financial treasure that continues to grow. For collectors, this coin is not just about ownership, it's about strategy. Store it in a dry, temperature-controlled environment. Never expose it to moisture or direct sunlight. Avoid cleaning it aggressively, because even a small mistake can destroy its value instantly. If you must clean it, only use gentle, non-abrasive methods at home. Always check the edges, the date clarity, and the surface texture before buying or selling. The biggest mistake people make is rushing, but patience. Patience is what transforms coins into wealth. There are secret places where coins like this still appear: old family collections, estate sales, antique shops, and even bank rolls. The truth is, these treasures are still out there. People just don't recognize them. And as we move forward, remember this: if this first coin is already this powerful, the next ones will shock you even more. Stay with me, because what's coming next might completely change how you look at every single penny you see. And don't forget, this channel Wheat Pennies in Circulation brings you fresh, powerful, and daily updates. Because your next big treasure might already be closer than you think. There's something dangerously deceptive about the 1956 wheat penny, especially the one without a mint mark. It doesn't shine like gold. It doesn't look rare. And that's exactly why people are losing it every single day without realizing what they had in their hands. That red-brown surface, mixed with those unusual green spots on the observe side. Most people think it's damage, but in reality, it's a powerful signal of age, authenticity, and hidden value. This coin doesn't scream for attention. It whispers, and only true collectors hear it. When you look closely at the design, you're not just seeing a coin, you're seeing a piece of American legacy. On the front, Abraham Lincoln stands in quiet strength, his profile carrying decades of national identity. On the reverse, those iconic wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent, symbolizing growth, endurance, and the foundation of a nation. But what makes this coin even more intriguing is the absence of a mint mark. That missing detail ties it to Philadelphia, where millions were struck. Yet only a tiny fraction survived in extra-fine condition with such distinct surface characteristics. The history behind this coin adds another layer of intensity. The year 1956 was a time of economic expansion in the United States, when coins were heavily circulated in everyday life. These pennies passed through countless hands, used, spent, and often forgotten. That's why finding one today in extra-fine condition, with visible details still intact and natural aging, like red-brown toning and green oxidation spots, is like discovering a survivor that refused to disappear. This coin's composition is 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, giving it that classic solid feel and a weight of 3.11 grams. Its diameter remains 19 millimeters, and its thickness is approximately 1.52 millimeters. But what truly sets it apart is how copper reacts over time. That red-brown color, combined with green spotting, is not random. It's a chemical fingerprint of decades. It tells collectors that this coin has lived, and more importantly, that it has survived without being altered or destroyed. Now let's talk about what makes collectors stop and pay attention instantly: rarity and condition. While millions of 1956 pennies were minted, very few remain in extra-fine condition with natural toning and those distinctive green spots. Most were either cleaned, damaged, or worn down beyond recognition. But this specific combination, no mint mark, extra-fine detail, and authentic aging, creates a level of demand that is quietly exploding in the US. Collector market. Serious collectors are not just looking for coins, they are hunting for stories preserved in metal, and this coin delivers exactly that. And now, the moment that turns curiosity into shock, the current market value of this exact coin in extra fine condition is $140, hundredth, yes. This is the absolute current price, and it is rising continuously. This is not an exaggeration. This is the reality of today's collector market. The value is increasing day by day, and those who understand its importance are holding on to it like a powerful treasure. If this coin is in your possession, you are not holding loose change. You are holding a growing asset. For collectors, this coin demands respect and strategy. Store it in a protective holder from humidity and sudden temperature changes. Never scrub or polish it harshly, because those natural tones and green spots are part of its identity and value. If you attempt cleaning, do it gently and only when absolutely necessary. When checking a coin before buying, focus on the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the date, and the natural texture of the surface. The biggest mistake people make is trying to improve the coin, but in reality they destroy its worth. The truth is, coins like this are still out there, hidden in old jars, tucked away in forgotten drawers, passed down without recognition. Estate sales, flea markets, and even everyday change can still reveal something this powerful, but only those who know what to look for will ever realize it. And remember this, patience is not just a virtue in coin collecting, it is the key to building real wealth. The longer you hold a coin like this, the more its story grows, and the more its value rises. As we move forward, prepare yourself, because the next coin is even more shocking, and once you see it, you may never look at a simple penny the same way again. And don't forget, Wheat Pennies in Circulation brings you fresh, powerful updates every single day, because your next hidden treasure might already be in your hands. This is where things become truly unbelievable. The 1956 wheat penny with the D mint mark is one of those coins that hides in plain sight, slipping through hands, falling into jars, getting spent like nothing, while quietly holding a level of value that most people would never imagine. That bronze look, mixed with gray-black shading and those mysterious green spots on both the observe and reverse side, to an untrained eye it looks worn, even damaged. But to a serious collector, this is not damage. This is a signature of time, a mark of survival, and a signal of hidden treasure. Take a closer look at its design, and you'll realize this coin carries more than just metal. It carries history. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's profile stands firm, representing leadership and resilience. On the reverse, the wheat stalks curve around the bold 1 cent, creating a design that has become one of the most iconic in American coinage. But the real detail that changes everything is that small D mint mark beneath the date. That tiny letter ties this coin to the Denver Mint. And in the world of collectors, that single detail can transform an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. The background of this coin takes us back to 1956, a time when America was growing fast, industries were booming, and coins like these were constantly moving through the economy. The Denver Mint was producing large numbers, but heavy circulation meant that most of these coins were worn down, damaged, or completely lost over time. That's why finding one today in almost fine condition, with its original bronze tone mixed with natural aging like gray-black shading and green spotting, is incredibly rare. This coin didn't just survive, it endured decades of use and still holds its identity. Its composition is the classic 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, giving it that rich bronze appearance and a solid weight of 3.11 grams. The diameter is 19 millimeters and the thickness is approximately 1.52 millimeters. But what truly sets it apart is how the metal has aged. That blend of bronze, dark tones, and green oxidation is not random. It is a natural transformation that proves authenticity. Collectors don't just see a coin, they see a timeline, preserved in metal. Now let's talk about rarity, because this is where the real intensity begins. While millions of 1,956D pennies were produced, very few exist today in almost fine condition with such distinct and natural aging features. Most were either overused, cleaned incorrectly, or lost completely. But this specific combination, the Denver mint mark, the bronze base, and the unique mix of gray-black and green spotting creates a powerful demand among collectors. This is not just another coin. This is a piece that stands out in collections, and collectors are actively searching for it. And now, the moment that turns curiosity into pure shock. The current market value of this exact coin, in almost fine condition, is $170. 500th, yes. This is the absolute current price, and it is climbing higher over time. This is not a guess. This is the real market reality. The value is increasing day by day, and those who recognize it are holding on to it tightly. If this coin is in your possession, you are holding something far greater than a simple penny. You are holding a growing treasure. For collectors, this coin demands careful handling and smart decisions. Always store it in a dry place from moisture and air exposure. Never attempt aggressive cleaning, because those natural tones and spots are part of its value. If you clean it incorrectly, you can destroy its worth instantly. When checking a coin before buying, always look at the mint mark clarity, the condition of Lincoln's profile, and the natural texture of the surface. Avoid coins that look artificially polished or altered. The truth is, coins like this are still out there, hidden in places people ignore. Old piggy banks, inherited collections, flea markets, and even everyday transactions. People are still spending these treasures without knowing, and that's what makes this so powerful. And remember, patience is everything. The longer you hold a coin like this, the more its value grows. The market is moving. Demand is rising. And those who understand this are building real wealth quietly. So, before you ignore the next penny you see, take a closer look. Because it might not be just a coin. It might be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. And don't forget, Wheat Pennies in Circulation brings you fresh, exciting updates every single day, because your next big treasure might already be in your pocket.